Sunday was the hottest day of the year in Germany so far, with an outside temperature of around 34 degrees. Perfect conditions to put the Midea PortaSplit through a real stress test. For that, I intentionally heated up my 15 square meter bedroom to 28 degrees, door open, warm air in, and then it all began. I ran the PortaSplit for 3 hours at maximum cooling power, with the fan on high and the target temperature set to 20 degrees. After that, I ran it for another 2 hours in silent mode at just 1% fan power to see how quiet and how effective the cooling still is. During the test, I continuously measured the room temperature, the power consumption, and once every hour during the first 3 hours, I showed you the amount of condensation water produced by the outdoor unit. As you may have noticed, this model has often been sold out or quite expensive lately. I've linked the model in the video description where you can check current availability and price in your country. Stock is restocked from time to time, but only for a short while. Today it was available again on Amazon in Germany, but at a price where money really has to be no object. It's currently being sold at about MSRP, but maybe there'll be some deals this summer. Let's start the test. The scenario is meant to reflect a realistic situation before going to bed, so we're starting cooling at 6 p.m. At that point, it was still 32 degrees outside and the air in the bedroom was unbearable. Here's the first hour in time lapse. In the bottom left of the video, you'll see how many degrees were cooled down in 1 hour. We achieved a drop of 5.2 degrees, which I think is a very strong result. Here's the first look at the outdoor unit. Since the unit isn't elevated, some of the water simply runs out of the device instead of going through the drainage hose. Moving on to hour 2. We lost another 1.2 degrees, so in total we've dropped 6.4 degrees. Again, a good amount of condensation water was produced and I accidentally pulled off the hose. Which gives me the chance to show you the connection point. The hose just clicks right back on. Very simple. Now onto hour 3 in power mode. At the last moment the smiley face is happy, so am I. Here you can clearly see how the condensation water runs out of the unit if it's not elevated. But honestly, it doesn't really bother me because the water evaporates very quickly. The room humidity was also a manageable 44%, so less water needed to be drawn from the air. After 3 hours at full power, I find the results pretty impressive. Especially the first hour is enough to bring the room to a comfortable temperature. Of course, in this weather, it also consumes more power, which I'll show you in a second. First, the 3-hour conclusion. From a starting temperature of 28 degrees, we reached 20.9 degrees. That's a reduction of 7.1 degrees from the initial reading. Humidity dropped by 3%. You really notice that the unit maintains consistent performance. The air in the room was very cool and stepping into a warmer area felt like walking into a wall. That really shows what a perceived drop of 7 degrees feels like. After that we went to bed and I ended the main recording here, but the unit continued running, as planned, for another 2 hours in silent mode at 1% fan power. Here you can hear how quiet the indoor unit is during that time. I also filmed the outdoor unit again. There's only a faint hum now, which isn't disturbing at all. Alright, let's get to the results. During editing, I realized that the first hour is missing in the power usage graph. I can't recreate it retroactively, but on the right you'll see the summary per hour. You can see that in the first hour about 0.95 kilowatt hours were used. On the left, you can see how it peaked at over 1000 watts. After that, it gradually dropped, and after 9 p.m. the power usage fell significantly in silent mode. It then settled at around 300 watts and kept decreasing as the outdoor temperature dropped. In total, it consumed 3.468 kilowatt hours over the 5-hour period, which at my rate of 36 cents per kilowatt hour comes out to about €1.25. Honestly, take my money. Here you can also see a nice comparison to the outdoor temperatures and the peak consumption of over 1.2 kilowatt hours in the first hour. Finally, here's the temperature chart. You can also see that after the unit shuts off, the room temperature rises again pretty quickly during the night. So if you want to maintain 22 to 23 degrees all night, the unit needs to keep running in silent mode. But it's honestly perfect for falling asleep, and if you wake up at night, you can simply turn it back on from bed using the remote and set the timer to 30 minutes. So even after my first few evenings with this device, I'm still very satisfied. I can definitely recommend it, just keep an eye on the price. As mentioned, I've linked the Midea PortaSplit in the video description so you can check availability and price in your country there. Thanks for watching and also for your feedback on the last video. Let me know how the unit performs for you in this kind of heat. I find all the different perspectives super interesting. See you next time. Take care.